So let's talk about a technology that is pretty much set to completely rewrite the rules of audio production. And look, we're not talking about some sci-fi future here. This is happening right now. It's about to make creating professional-grade audio accessible to, well, everyone. So let's dive in and see how this is even possible.
No, seriously, just think about that for a second. All the gear, the expensive microphones, the soundproofing, the editing software, coordinating with other people. What if all of that just disappeared? What if the only thing standing between you and a top-tier podcast was just your idea?
And hey, this isn't just for you podcast creators out there. If you're a student or in academia, or really any field where you have to digest just tons of dense information, this is a total game changer. I mean, imagine turning that stack of research papers on your desk into an audio briefing you can just listen to on your commute.
Okay, and this is where things start to get, honestly, almost uncomfortably real. We're not talking about just one voice reading a script. We're talking about 4 different voices, each with its own consistent viewpoint, arguing, debating, and actually responding to each other. This isn't just text-to-speech. This is personality to performance.
But, to really appreciate why this is such a massive leap forward, we kind of have to understand what we're leaping from. For decades, creating really high-quality audio has been locked behind what I call the audio barrier, a huge wall built out of time, technology, and specialized talent.
Right, so the old way, that meant wrangling hosts, writers, sound engineers, booking expensive studio time, the whole shebang. It's a process that can cost thousands of dollars and take weeks just to produce a single episode. The new way, well, it starts with an idea, a single prompt, and it ends with a finished, totally broadcast-ready file in just a few minutes. The difference is just staggering.
The breakthrough that's making all of this possible is a system called Deep Agent from a company called Abacus AI. The best way to think of it is as an AI producer. And this is not just some concept. We're about to walk through some real-world demos that show exactly what this thing can do. And trust me, the results are pretty mind-blowing.
All right, first up, let's see how we get from dense research to ready-for-radio audio. We're going to see how this AI producer handles one of the most important and, frankly, one of the most technical research papers in modern AI history. This is like the ultimate test of its ability to not just read, but to understand and communicate.
So the paper is called Attention is All You Need. If you're in the AI space, you know this one. This is the foundational text for the entire modern AI boom. It's what gave us the transformer architecture that powers everything from GPT to Gemini. It is incredibly dense, super technical, and it literally changed everything.
And to give you an idea of its impact, look at this, over 173,000 citations. That makes it one of the most influential academic papers, like, ever. But here's the thing, most people will never actually read it because it's just too complex. So the task for Deep Agent was to take this beast of a paper and make it understandable for pretty much anyone.
And here's the really crucial part. The AI didn't just read the paper out loud. That's the easy part. No, it restructured the entire thing, just like a skilled science communicator would. It set the stage with historical context, explained the core concepts, broke down the architecture, and then summarized its lasting impact, all in a polished 5-minute audio overview. I mean, that alone is a staggering new tool for education.
So if summarizing that paper was like a solo performance, what about a full cast production? Well, the next demonstration takes this to a whole other level. It generated an entire 30-minute expert panel on the incredibly complex and controversial topic of AI safety.
So Deep Agent created 4 distinct expert voices for this. You've got Dr. Sarah Chen, the cautious realist who's worried we're moving way too fast. Then you have Marcus Webb, the national security type who sees AI as a global race we can't afford to lose. And these aren't just different voice fonts, okay? They're characters who hold consistent, unique positions for the entire 30-minute debate.
So, what makes it sound so darn real? Well, the voices are powered by a technology from a company called Hume AI, and it's specifically designed to generate emotionally expressive speech. So you can actually hear the conviction in a panelist's voice when they're making a strong point, or the thoughtfulness when they pause to think. It even generates the natural filler words, the ums and ahs, that make a conversation feel authentic.
Okay, so this is where it gets really practical for any creator who's listening. What if you want to start your own show? Let's break down the ridiculously simple 3-step process.
The entire, complicated production pipeline has been boiled down to this. Step 1. The agent researches your topic. Step 2. It writes a full script, dialogue and all. And step 3, it generates the final, broadcast-ready audio. All those old barriers between having an idea and publishing an episode, they're just gone.
And just listen to the result. This quote is from a generated podcast about machine consciousness. The two AI hosts have such a natural rapport. The pacing is warm, the rhythm feels genuine, it honestly sounds like two colleagues who actually enjoy talking to each other, not like robots reading lines. Now for my absolute favorite example, because it just shows the sheer creative range we're talking about here. The prompt was simple. Create an audio scene of a guy being a wingman for his friend. The result is 2 minutes of funny, a little awkward, and just completely human-sounding dialogue. The AI even nails that motivational inflation a friend gives you to boost your confidence. It's just astonishingly good. So let's zoom out for a second. We've seen it handle dense research, complex debates, and creative, funny dialogue. What does this all mean for the bigger picture? Well, it means we are fundamentally rewriting the rules and the entire economics of audio.
And this is going to impact almost every industry you can think of. A marketing team can now generate an entire audio ad campaign in a single afternoon. An educational publisher can convert its entire textbook catalog into audiobooks. A training department can build interactive audio modules without hiring a single voice actor. The scale of this is just massive.
So, the most important point is this. For decades, access to professional quality audio was limited by how much money you had, how much time you had, and your technical expertise. Those barriers are now crumbling, and they are crumbling fast. We are walking into a new era where the only real constraint is your imagination.
So yeah, the tools are here, the quality is undeniably real, the barriers are gone. So the only question that's really left is, what will you create?